keep a close eye on your son. He is on the verge of being taken into custody by the authorities. My darling child. Avoid skipping. The weight of fate itself is in what you are about to hear, so stay put. You may find it difficult to breathe when these words are spoken, but you have to pay attention all the way through. There is something enormous in store for you. Hasn't he been restless lately? Like someone concealing a storm under placid sky, their eyes dart and their speech trembles occasionally. He has been discreetly developing something behind closed doors, but he isn't telling you about it. And now, as he treads the fine line between innocence and devastation, heaven frantically says, "Watch your son carefully. The law will be watching him if he makes the wrong move or attracts the wrong crowd." Divine forces have been circling around your home for days, watching every step, every word, every secret exchanged under the breath of fear. This message isn't coincidence. It's intervention from above. Type Amen to receive blessing 333, says Archangel Michael. A few nights ago, he slipped out in secret, thinking no one would notice. Heaven noticed, and the angels recorded every detail. He thought it was a harmless thrill, something transient, something no one would ever find out about. Don't scroll now. Every second counts. This is not just a warning. It's a divine interception. But fate is not blind, it observes, and what is concealed in the dark always makes its way to the light. Your kid is currently carrying something inside of him, a mixture of silence and pride, fear and guilt, and heaven is attempting to halt what is about to happen before it's too late. You must not confront him with anger, advises Archangel Michael. Stay motionless as you approach. The wrong tone might shatter him since his spirit is at odds with itself. Talk honestly rather than tensely. To receive a blessing, type Amen. It is 444. Continue until the very end. Don't miss what heaven is attempting to show you. You weren't intended to hear about a name that was mentioned in a meeting last night. A meeting with 3 individuals and a message that has the power to transform everything. The name of your son rang out in that room. It was curiosity, a thread being carefully plucked by invisible hands, rather than accusation just yet. He is not currently being pursued by the law. However, they are keeping an eye out for trends that might link him to a larger secret. In actuality, the real threat is someone close to him and someone he blindly trusts. They are giving him decisions clothed in phony loyalty and setting traps under the appearance of friendship. They're luring him. He is being put to the test. Heaven urges, do not let fear take control. The divine world wants to give you time, which is why you are seeing this message today. What is about to happen can still be prevented. To get blessing 555, type Amen. Now is not the time to skip. Pay close attention. Right now, every heartbeat carries a coded message. You might have experienced it lately. When he walks into the room, there is an awkward silence. When you call his name, he hesitates. These are cues. Beneath his composure, the truth is stirring. His decisions are being influenced by an older person who he views as a mentor or advisor. They promise easy independence, rapid achievement, and shortcuts. However, there is a trap beneath it that could irreparably damage his future. At this point in his life, Archangel Michael says, light must enter before justice does. Pray not for punishment but for revelation. Let heaven uncover the truth before man's law does. He is completely unaware of the scope of his surroundings. Heaven, however, does. You're hearing this now because of that. To receive blessing 666, type Amen. Avoid scrolling. Avoid blinking. You're being asked to behave sensibly, quietly, and quickly. A file is being prepared. Reports are discussed, words are written. The chain is starting to form, but none of this is public yet. A local cop received a message. They gave a partial account of something your kid didn't do, but when it comes from the wrong person, it may be powerful. Dangerous illusions are created when lies and bits of truth are combined. This is not the time to panic, heaven cautions. Archangel Michael says, stand firm in light. The cosmos bends when truth speaks. This is the time to move with divine timing. You are chosen to intercept this moment, to protect, not to accuse. Before the ink dries, the liar will be exposed by heaven. You have to stand your ground and get ready for what's about to happen. To receive blessing 777, type Amen. Continue until the very end. The days ahead are crucial. Strange conduct, late-night calls, the appearance of unknown names, and abrupt mood swings are all possible. These are hints from the heavenly world. Do not disregard them. Your son's name is being used as leverage by someone. They are attempting to divert attention in order to avoid their own repercussions. However, the light of truth will find them because it burns more sharply than deceit. Soon, you'll get confirmation via text, phone call, or casual conversation. Keep an eye out for anything related to paperwork, meetings, or stations. These words will have meaning. Heaven murmurs, redirect the storm instead of facing it head-on. You have the power to save not just your son but also everyone else involved in this complex web. To receive a blessing, type Amen. It is 888. Avoid skipping. Beyond this moment, something enormous is waiting for you. Divine Justice's hand is already at work, rearranging things discreetly so that your son's name isn't even tarnished. Soon, someone will try to agitate him so that he loses his composure and reacts recklessly, but your composure will put an end to the mayhem. Serve as his pillar of support. Be the light's voice. The eyes of heaven are open over your household. A golden shield has been placed to guard your son, but you must sustain it with faith, not fear. The storm is not punishment, but purification. What is meant to destroy will soon become the reason he rises higher than ever before, says Archangel Michael. Stay until the very end. Type Amen to receive blessing 999. My dear child, there's one more thing heaven wants you to know. The same people who are attempting to trap him are going to be exposed in public. Their plan will crumble under its own weight. There will be a call, a voice trembling with guilt, confessing everything. When that happens, don't react angrily, instead, react in silence. Heaven replies, do not lose hope. Your kid will learn a great deal from this. He will understand who really stood by him, and that realization will awaken the protector within him. The silence of peace will destroy their evil more quickly than words. This catastrophe is merely the first step before his metamorphosis. To receive blessings, type Amen. 111. A divine helper, Someone who works in silence but moves mountains through their influence, is already being sent. They will unexpectedly cross your path and speak words that sound ordinary but have extraordinary power. Don't skip. You were chosen to receive this message because heaven knew your heart wouldn't fail. You have the strength to pull him back before the edge breaks. Archangel Michael says, "The law of heaven precedes the law of man." And when light intervenes, justice cannot touch what has been sanctified. Type Amen to receive blessing. 12:12, stay with me. Something greater than fear is at work now. Destiny is rewriting itself. When that person appears, recognize them by peace. Their presence will calm you instantly. That's your sign to trust. Soon, your son will make a choice that will shape the next phase of his life. Your calmness, your tone, and your love will have an impact on that choice. Give him words of faith, look him in the eyes, and tell him, the world may doubt you, but heaven still believes in you. That one sentence will break the unseen curse of accusation. There will be a night of tears, but peace will follow. The angels, not the police, will stand at his door. The light will come before the siren. Heaven's verdict is already written. He will be free. Type Amen to receive blessing. 13:13. Pay close attention to this last section. This storm will purify him, awaken his conscience, and open new doors of destiny you never imagined. Your role was never punishment, but protection. Heaven used your heart as a shield between him and disaster. You were chosen to sense danger before it arrived. When the dust settles and everything returns to silence, thankfulness must take the place of fear. Now rest, urges Archangel Michael. What was once a cell will now serve as a haven. Because divine truth surpasses human suspicion, the case will end before it even starts. Restoration is the next step. Grace is what's next. Don't skip the conclusion. There is something enormous in store for you. Your family is safe. Your son will grow up to be wiser and stronger. The story of his return has already been penned by the hands of heaven. One day, he will be grateful that you believed in him when others didn't. Punishment was never part of the divine design. It was about awakening. You can give special gratitude by contributing up to $20 if you want to show your support even further. Don't ignore this message just yet, my dear child. Everything that has been perplexing you lately will make sense after reading what you are going to read. The unexpected quiet, the distance, and the covert glances are all components of the revelation that is taking place. Heaven says there's a reason why you've been uncomfortable at particular periods and dates. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you've known that something unseen has been circling your son's path and whispering danger. It wasn't paranoia. It was an attempt by divine intuition to safeguard your sacred possessions. Heaven has intervened to postpone the secret preparation of a report. Someone attempted to associate your son's name with a circumstance that he doesn't completely comprehend. It's not all about him. It's about someone attempting to hide their own guilt by using his presence. As you read this, write Amen to get blessings. Archangel Michael says, the eyes of heaven have seen the papers before they reach the desk. Those pages will never become judgment because divine light is rearranging their story. Don't skip 14:14. Continue until the very end. The invisible strands that bind each action are being revealed by heaven. Someone who used to laugh loudly, speak softly, and smile in your house is holding a piece of the truth. They are unaware that the upper realm has already revealed their scheme. Instead of punishment, your son is being put to the test in terms of patience. He is shielding you and relieving you of the strain by remaining silent at this moment. However, his worry is also concealed by his quiet. The kind of fear that can only be subdued by supernatural intervention. Small clues, like a missed call, a deleted message, or an abrupt shift in his tone when you walk in, might have caught your attention. They're not arbitrary. The angels are using patterns and hints to remind you that awareness, not fear, is necessary for safety. Heaven murmurs, "Do not be afraid of what you discover. For every revelation is a rescue." Light reveals in order to save rather than to destroy. To receive a blessing, type Amen. 15:15, avoid scrolling. Avoid breathing too rapidly. Feel the spirit of this next line. Everything that is going on right now is purification under the garb of chaos. False relationships, betraying pals, and secret traps that your son could never anticipate are being eliminated by the universe. One individual who is a few years older than him has a poisonous influence that goes under the idea of compassion. This person encourages him to make risky yet ultimately disastrous decisions. Unbeknownst to him, their voice has been resounding in his mind, influencing his behavior. This person's mask is about to fall, declares heaven. Under heavenly pressure, the same lips that spoke manipulation will soon confess. The storm will expose not your son, but those around him who operate in deceit. Archangel Michael now stands next to him, directing his steps toward redemption and away from the road of doom. To receive a blessing, type Amen. 16:16. Don't omit this section. Even as you read, something is changing. When truth penetrates the spiritual realm, time bends. Unknowingly, those who are fabricating stories are authoring their own demise. This trial is not the end of your son's destiny. He was born with a leadership trait, but miscommunication is a constant challenge for leaders. Heaven first tests to form rather than to shatter. A miracle will come in the shape of a dialogue. Suddenly, a person in a position of authority will express compassion rather than distrust. It's not a coincidence. That is how heaven transforms people's hearts to conform to divine justice. The boy you worry about is not falling, heaven murmurs. He's being raised by fire. To receive a blessing, type Amen. 17:17, continue until the very end. Keep your heart from racing. Before dawn, what appears to be a legal shadow is actually just a brief period of darkness. As soon as the truth begins to shine, every false statement made against him will be rendered ineffective. He will shortly be publicly defended by someone who previously had doubts about him. Everyone around you will be shocked by that change. People will murmur, but heaven will use indisputable proof to silence them. Errors will not tarnish your son's reputation. Through revelation, he shall be reborn. His name will be cleaned via time rather than coercion. Human dishonesty is always defeated by divine timing. You are standing on holy ground of redemption, declares Archangel Michael. Have faith that deliverance is imminent. Type Amen to receive blessings, 18:18. Avoid scrolling. Right now, you are at a turning moment. There will be a call in the next several days. At first, it might seem like awful news, but hold on. It is the heavenly rearrangement's covert messenger. A record, a witness, or an investigation will be mentioned. But when reality intervenes, the passion behind those remarks will wane. The individual who attempted to frame your kid will be exposed due to their own deception. When this occurs, let the silence of truth speak louder than arguments. The storm will pass faster when you let grace guide the response, advises heaven. Stand still, declares Archangel Michael, confirming that heaven has assumed complete authority. Grace is the verdict. To receive blessing 2020, type Amen. Don't miss this final opportunity. Remain composed. Heaven is aware of the strength of your intercession, which is why this message has reached you today. The barrier preventing him from being destroyed is your love. This will teach your son humility rather than humiliation. His tale will turn into one of salvation rather than destruction. What was intended to be an allegation will serve as the cornerstone of his future power. The angels are no longer silent. The situation has changed from one of fear to one of favor, and they are already celebrating victory. A golden path has replaced what was once a gloomy edge. He is safe, according to heaven. You are selected to see him come back to life. Don't miss this opportunity, my dear child. There isn't anarchy going on right now. It's a tense, divine orchestration. Every tear, anxiety, and restless night builds a bridge between peril and salvation. Your son is navigating a field of obscure decisions that are all influenced by invisible forces. Not everyone in his immediate vicinity is good-hearted. Some reflect borrowed truths and are mirrors of dishonesty. However, heaven gradually guards him, transforming each trap into a metamorphosis. He feels misinterpreted and perhaps deserted. In actuality, though, fire is refining him. He is released from the hold of false companions by Archangel Michael, who stands at his right side and cuts invisible threads of manipulation. To receive blessings, type Amen. Heaven murmurs, hold faith tighter than fear. The storm is not the end. It's the cleansing. 2121, don't leave just yet. The thing you've been looking for is the discovery you're about to read. The person in charge, the one disseminating incorrect information covertly, is going to be revealed by their own statements. Something minor but indisputable will appear, such as a voice recording, screenshot, or letter. Without your son having to say anything, it will completely upend the issue and demonstrate his innocence. That is not fortuitous. That's divine accuracy. This truth will be revealed by someone you least anticipate. Guilt-ridden conscience will force them to divulge what they previously concealed. When they do, silently pardon them because they were a part of the greater plan of heaven. Every lie will soon speak the language of truth, declares Archangel Michael. To receive a blessing, type Amen. 2222, continue until the very end. Keep your heart from racing. Now, all the phony friendships that surround him are waning. People may start to distance themselves for no apparent cause. Avoid pursuing them. Heaven is eliminating everybody who might bring him down once more. He is about to enter a phase of awakening where the wisdom of adulthood will replace the blunders of youth. Instead of punishing him, the divine wants him to truly remember these teachings. Heaven clears the way for his fresh start by saying, "Do not mourn what's being removed." The light will have greater space to remain as the old bonds fall. Your son's actual purpose will blossom in that area like sunlight after a long, dark night. To receive a blessing, type Amen. 23:23. Don't omit this section. This is when the miracle begins to happen, so pay close attention. Something unexpected will occur in the next days. A person in a position of authority will stop, think things through, and challenge the narrative they were given. Everything will change after that wait. That is heaven using human hesitancy to intervene. Darkness loses ground when light enters uncertainty. Words like review, delay, and recheck will be used. When you do, give a gentle grin. It is proof that divine timing has intervened. The clock has been altered by heaven. Mercy is already walking toward your home. Type Amen to get blessing. 2400 hours 24 says Archangel Michael.